So somatic practices, embodiment practice, mindful movement, these kinds of practices can be very helpful in preparing us internally for seated meditation. For me, it really helps clear my body and mind in a way that then makes me more ready for cultivating more subtle and refined states of mind, of consciousness, and of emotion. So I wanted to break the series a little bit here of the somatic practices for fight, flight, flee, and faint. I will come back to that series, but I wanted to bring this in because it's so important to be aware of this potential sequence, I think, of the somatic practices that I'm showing, which really or have been showing, that deal with that real intense primal response to threat. That's a fairly gross level of experience that's really important to know how to work with. It's also important, ideally, that we can also create space for the cultivation of more refined states of being. So I think those practices really help just kind of like reset the nervous system, bring us back to neutral. And the practice that I'm going to teach right now, the meditation that I'm going to guide you through, well, I won't say too much about it. You can just go through it with me if you like and see how it is for you. There are more systematic ways of learning meditation. I feel like this is just a little taste, and I will post below in the notes to this some links to where you can learn meditation in a more systematic way, including this one, which really ultimately will focus on the cultivation of equanimity. I hope this can benefit folks that may not be connected locally, may not necessarily have an interest in Buddhism or know much about it. And so this, I just want to be accessible to whomever. So just spend a moment here arriving. And by that, I mean just beginning to sense yourself here, sense your body here. Maybe even sensing your contact with the earth. Maybe your feet are resting on the floor, or maybe you're seated like I am, or in a chair, and you can feel the earth through the surface underneath you. You can sense that solidity. And just sensing that contact. And sensing other points of contact as well, where gravity works on the matter of our bodies, bringing our hands or our arms in contact with the surfaces below them. And just feeling this as a kind of landing in the here and now. A remembering, if you will, of the rest of you that exists below your neck and below. So often we live in our heads. And if you'd like, you can now bring your attention to your breathing. And you don't have to do anything to it or with it, just becoming aware of it. Your body knows how to breathe. And you can just let it. And let your body breathe you. Notice how it does that. Notice where you sense your breath in your body. And especially, I invite you to just get in touch with the rhythm of your breath. And just flowing with it. Just notice how that is for you. Your breath can be an anchor for you in the rest of this practice, if you like. And now I invite you to bring your attention to this area of the chest, the heart. And I'm going to invite you to sense any openness in this area. And maybe there's an emotional corollary to a felt sense of openness. Maybe there's a sense of physical and or emotional warmth, or opening or softness, a spaciousness, expansiveness, kindness, love. And you can just see what's there, and if you're not noticing much of that, that's okay. Let's just see if we can have an accepting and kind attitude toward whatever we find there. Just softening with what's there. Perhaps even sending it some kindness if we sense some tension there, a closed quality, constricted quality. And if you are sensing openness, softness, something like kindness, you can just be with that, sense it, allow it. And maybe as you attend in that way, that feeling or sensation begins to get more vivid or expands or deepens. Maybe. And if that's the case, just let that happen. Just notice that it's happening and allow it. Now I'm going to invite you to bring your attention to your head. Your head is part of your body. And just first noticing if there are any areas that feel tight or dense. You can check in with the base of your occipital lobes, the base of your skull there. You can check in with your scalp. Your eyes, your forehead, what's behind your forehead, your jaw, your face, and if you notice any constriction or tension, maybe you can just notice that with a sense of kindness. And if any of those areas would like to let go right now, just allowing that to happen. If not, that's okay. And then checking and seeing if, I don't know, maybe you can sense some space, some spacious quality in your head. We're actually more space than we are matter. And maybe you can sense that. Maybe you can sense your brain cushioned by the liquid-filled cushion around it. And just sensing space, between your ears, behind your eyes, your sinuses. And now I'm going to invite you for the next few minutes to just tune back with your breath, or that open sense in your heart area if you have a strong sense of loving kindness there, or warmth, or softness. So you can just choose which one you would like to be your anchor for the next couple minutes. And as you're with your anchor, your breathing or your heart, that sense of metta or loving kindness, you can just notice in your experience anything that arises that is unpleasant or uncomfortable, that gives rise to a sense of wanting to push it away, or turn away from it, or make it stop. And maybe it's possible to actually turn toward what arises with that sense of kindness, kind attention. Can we turn toward it and just allow it to arise and pass on its own? We don't have to push it away. Allowing our breath or that sense of kindness to contact or wrap around the discomfort so that we can just be with it. until it passes. And similarly, we can notice in our experience if something particularly pleasant is happening, something pleasurable that we really want to just stay. We don't want it to change. Maybe there's a sense of wanting to kind of hold on to that, make it not go away. And again, is it possible to just stay with what is loosely, like our hand is open? Can you be with that pleasant experience in a way that in the next moment, if it goes, we can just let it go? We can even be sensitive to that transition between holding on and letting go. So it can feel at first unpleasant to let go of that clinging to something that we want to keep. But maybe we can really stay with that transition and feel, it also feels good to let go. We can feel the freedom in that. Maybe some relief even. Maybe even a sense of power or capacity. And of course, being sensitive to how it feels after letting go. So just spending a couple more minutes here, being with the anchor of your breath or your open heart, and just noticing these sensations, emotions, thoughts that we want to cling to or push away, and just seeing if we can instead just be with them with a kind of open kindness, not moving toward or away from them. And really sensing this mountain quality, this solidity, this deep stillness and contentment when we don't move toward or away from. This equipose, this equanimity. Just tuning in with that for the next minute or so. I'm just taking a moment here to see how you want to transition back. Maybe your eyes are closed, maybe they're not. I'm taking a moment to end this period of mindful, loving attention for now. May you be well, may you be happy, may all beings be well, may all beings be happy.